and welcome back, Sante partners. Good evening, and for some, it's good afternoon. This is Eugene Sugian, your NetDev digital marketing consultant. So, this is the continuation. So, part 2 na po ito ng ating Facebook advertising series. So, I will be communicating in both English and Tagalog for the benefit of our local partners and for the international partners. So since this is the continuation of our previous episode, I highly suggest na i-review nyo po yung first episode because from that episode, we discussed about Facebook advertising setup and Facebook advertising account, and Facebook business manager account. So both of those accounts are very important po para makapag-set up kayo. At the same time, yung wala pa mga business manager account, pwede naman pong gamitin yung advertising account. Basta ang pinaka-importante is that you need to have that payment account set up para makapag-start na po sa Facebook advertising natin. So today, this episode will focus on these things. We have basic concepts. We will review about the basic concepts of digital marketing of Facebook advertising. We will also discuss about retargeting. Ano nga ba yung retargeting? Paano natin ma-reach ulit or ma-target ulit, ma-market ulit yung mga taong nakapunta na sa ating page or nag-engage na sa ating ads. So we'll talk about retargeting. How do we remarket? How do we reach people who have already engaged with our page and with our ad? Now, after that, we'll also talk about Facebook audiences. When it comes to audiences, pagdating kasi sa targeting, kailangan malaman mo kung yung audience ba na yun, kailangan i-set up natin if those audiences are repeat customers, are they new customers, are they cold customers, warm customers, or hot lead customers ready to buy. So we'll talk about Facebook audiences, and then last but not the least, we'll talk about 5 different Facebook targeting strategies that you could use for your Facebook advertising. All right? So let's get the ball rolling. Let's start with basic concepts. So just a review, last episode, we talked about what is a campaign, what is an ad set, what is an ad. So this is just to refresh your memory. So a campaign is the overall goal of your advertising. When it comes to campaign, you have 3 major goals: awareness, consideration, and conversion. So when we say awareness, we want people to know about our product. Basically, alam nila na, okay, nag-exist yung product na to, nag-exist yung page namin. Yun lang yung goal ng awareness. So we have brand awareness and reach awareness, reach goals or objectives. And then we have the consideration. For the consideration, basically you want your customers to ask, am I going to buy this product? They're beginning now to question, is this product useful to me? How can this product help me? So pinapatanong mo sila sa sarili nila kung bibili ba sila or hindi. Kung magugustuhan ba nila to or hindi. Now, there are different mini objectives that you could choose. Pwedeng traffic, papuntahin mo sila sa messenger mo, or sa page mo, or sa website mo. Pwedeng messages, gusto mo mag-message sila sa'yo sa messenger. Pwede rin na, kung may app kayo, pwede mag-install ng app. Pwede rin engagement, gusto nyong dumami yung likes, yung comments, or yung share sa isang engagement nyo na post, pwede din po yun. So those are the different mini objectives inside the consideration objective. And then we also have, the last but not least, the conversion objective. So when we say conversion, we want them to buy. Where is this available? Do we send them to a website where we sell our product, maybe on Shopify, maybe on our Sante cart website. Also, maybe in our shopping Facebook page website. So we send them somewhere so that they can buy. We can also send them to Messenger where they could ask questions na pwede po bang bumili nito sa inyo? Magkano po to? HM, how much? So, ganun na mga tanungan, pang-conversion na yon. Pinapabili mo na sila. Basically, pinapapwersa mo na sila na bumili na sa iyo. So, remember, from awareness to consideration to conversion, what happens is that you are transforming the customer from a cold market to warm market. Basically, kung dumadami na yung alam nila, to a hot market, to a hot lead. Basically, ready to buy na. That is what advertising is all about. That is what marketing is all about. So that's a campaign. That's the basic campaign. And then we have ad set. What is the ad set? This is where you want your advertising ad or your ad to be shown and to whom. Kanino mo ipapakita? Who will be your target market? Who are they? Demographics. How old are they? Where are they working? Where are they located? What are their interests? Ano yung mga gusto nilang pages na tinitignan? Doon natin siniset up yun sa ad set. At tapos yung ad, yun na yung mismo yung material, yung creative material, whether video yan, image, or yung existing post nyo na sa page. So just a review. So this is the structure of a campaign. So from the ads manager, remember this is from the first episode, this is where we access this ads manager, ito po yun. From the ads manager, you will have the option to, let's just click this first. From the ads manager, you will see all your campaigns, all your existing campaigns, or for the first timers, this is where you will create your ad, okay? Your Facebook ad, the ads manager. All right, so from here, the ads manager, this is where we click. Dito lang tayo kiklik sa create. All right, so from the create, I'll start over lang. So from the create, you have here the main objectives, awareness, consideration, conversion, and then the mini objectives, specific objectives, brand awareness, reach, traffic to messages, conversions to store traffic, etc. For the beginners, I highly suggest to use between these two, engagement campaign or the messages campaign. Okay? So the engagement campaign is basically whether you want na kung gusto nyo yung isang post nyo, mas maraming mag-like, mag-comment, mag-share. Usually kasi sa comments, nagtatanong na yan ni HM or nagpi-PM na din yan. Pag maraming likes, maraming nagko-comment na tapos ginamit nyo tong objective na to, marami nang nagtatanong yan. Pwede rin kung nag-start bago pa yung page, pampadami ng likes. You could use this to actually get likes. Okay? Pwede din siya sa events. So, wala pa naman tayong sa events. So, we're just beginning. Sa messages naman, when you want people to send you message, gusto mag-inquire, gusto mo na agad silang mag-inquire sa ad mo, sa gagawin mong ad. So, I highly encourage you to experiment with this one, engagement and messages, both of these two. Kasi ito yung parating ginagamit ng ating mga business partners for this specific type of product, okay? So again, just to review, this is the campaign. This is the campaign level. You choose the objective. This is the ad set level. The ad set, this is where we set up our audience. Who will be our audience? Where we placement ang tawag doon, where do we place the ad? Gusto ba natin silang makita? Gusto ba natin yung ad natin makita sa sa Instagram, sa Messenger, sa Audience Network, in article, etc. So based from again, yung tip ko sa inyo, kung walang Instagram, i-off nyo to. Kung walang Instagram yung page nyo, nakakonect, i-off nyo kung wala kayong Instagram. I also highly suggest na wag nang isama yung audience network kasi mababa ang conversion dyan. Lalo na kung existing post ang ginagamit nyo o nagsa-start pa lang sa advertising. Usually kasi medyo kailangan ng mas maganda na mas effective na ad pag well-designed, pag ginagamit tong audience network. May specific techniques na ginagamit dyan. So, Facebook video feeds, kung sa tingin nyo maganda yung itsura niya pag lumabas siya sa video, so pwede nyong i-off, pwedeng hindi. But I highly encourage for the beginners, start lang muna sa Facebook. Pwedeng sa newsfeed, mobile newsfeed, pwede nyo ring ilagay sa stories kung gusto nyo. Pero itong in-stream, wag na yan. Itong article, wag na din to. Okay? The more kasi na binabawasan nyo yung placement ni Facebook, the more siya na magmamahal yung pag-place ng inyong ad. But that's okay. Kasi, aanhin mo yung malagay yung ads mo dito sa iba't ibang mga, let's say, kunwari ito sa in article. Pwede natin i-on to messages. Kunwari ito sa apps or website or sa search, kung wala namang nagko-convert, kung wala namang tumitingin. So, might as well place your ad where your audience is present, where they are present. Okay? And then, budget and schedule. For the budget and schedule, I highly suggest to set a start and end date. More than 7 days. 7 days is the very least. And then, always use daily budget. Wag po yung lifetime budget. Lifetime budget, you could experiment, but from my experience, daily budget works best. Okay? So from the ad level, this is where we choose what ad are we going to use. What will be ano yung post na gagamitin natin as an advertisement. Okay? So, from campaign to ad set to ad. Okay, from the audience. So, from the ad, this is where dito set up yung page natin. Kung walang Instagram, just leave it blank. Tapos dito tayo pipili ng existing post kung gusto natin na yung post natin yung gusto nating maging ad, or pwede tayong lagyan natin ng button. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan na lagyan to ng send message. Or pwede tayong gumawa ng from scratch na ad mismo kung ayaw natin gamitin yung ating existing post. Okay, so that's the review portion of our episode 1. So proceed na tayo sa ating main topic. So from the campaign level, ad set level to the ad level. Yun lang po yung basic na structure ng isang ad campaign. So what is a campaign? Na-discuss natin yung kanina. We have an overall objective. This is the entire campaign structure. Sa ad set, pwede tayong gumawa pala ng maraming ad sets. We can create multiple ad sets up to I think up to 500 ad sets. Tapos for each ad sets, we could create multiple ads within an ad set. For example, ito para for males, pang lalaki, ito for females, tapos iba yung design, ibang post, dito rin ibang post, etc. Okay, so again, I highly encourage you to review the episode 1 of our series. So this is the campaign structure. This is the design. This is how your advertisement will look like. So, this is an example of an ad. So, ito yung name ng page. The ad copy, when we say the ad copy, this is the text here. This is the ad copy. This one, ito yung ad image. Ito yung picture ng ad. Ito naman yung headline, ad headline. And then ad description. I-describe nyo anong laman ng ad. Anong gusto nyo mangyari sa ad. So, these are the basics of Facebook advertising. So, when it comes to advertising, there we need to segregate our market. We also need to set up our audience. So when we say in Facebook advertising, there are 3 types of audience. We have the core audience or the saved audience. This is the first audience that you create. Ito yung pinakaunang audience na gagamitin mo. Ito yung pinakaunang audience na gagawin mo, na pagmamarketan mo. The main audience or your starting audience based from your target market. Okay? So, this is basically the initial audience, your first audience. From the core audience, you can create a custom audience, a customized audience. Audience created from your core audience. Itong custom audience, galing to sa core audience mo. Saan galing yung custom audience? Your custom audience can be people who have already engaged with your ad, people who have already visited your page, people who have already liked your page. If you want to retarget them, if you want to remarket them, this is where you do it. You create a custom audience. And then, from the custom audience, you can create a look-alike audience. Audience who are similar to your core audience or custom audience. Look-alike audiences are basically cold market audience. You would want to replicate or you would want to create a copy audience of those core audience or custom audience. So, look-alike audience, you could actually target, pwede kayong gumawa, kunwari, custom audience, nakuha nyo na yung custom audience na mga ito pala yung mga nag-i-engage sa akin sa ads ko. Ito pala yung mga buyers ko. Pwede kayong gumawa ng cold market audience using look-alike audience para hindi na kayo kailangang gumawa ng core audience. Hindi na kayo nanguhula kung sino ba yung next kong audience ay target. Pwedeng gagawa na lang kayo ng look-alike audience based from your existing customer na nag-i-engage na or bumili na sa page ninyo. So these are the 3 types of audiences. In Facebook advertising, there is what we call retargeting, okay? So, this is an important concept in marketing, in advertising. Retargeting, Facebook retargeting is the process of finding people who have visited your page or ad and then using their data to find their Facebook profiles. Para makatipid tayo sa cost, in order to save on costs, we would want to retarget, we would want to reach again those audiences who are interested in our ad but who are not yet ready to buy. Okay, emphasize ko lang po yun. Gusto nating balikan yung mga taong hindi pa ready bumili pero interested sila sa product. Ganun naman kasi usually yung case. People do not buy immediately with the product, especially online. it takes more than 7 instances or 7 points of contact, 7 points of interest na maano sila. Basically, nagaano pa yan. Basically, they have to warm up, no? They have to warm up with the product. They have to warm up first with your page, whether they need it or not, whether they have the money now or not. So, hindi pa yan ready agad to buy. Konti lang yung mga taong ready agad to buy. Most of our audiences, they're not yet ready to buy. So, we have to warm them up. To warm them up, we need to retarget them. So, retargeting is basically process of finding them again. Asan ba sila ulit? Gusto natin silang matrace ulit. And Facebook can do that. Facebook Ads Manager can retarget your audience. So, how do we do that? How do we do the retargeting? By using this technique, the core audience, custom audience, look-alike audience technique. Okay, so we are now going into the strategy portion of targeting, of Facebook targeting. Okay, so just a review, we have core audiences. We select your audience, wherein we select your audience manually based on characteristics, age, demographics, location. So this is the core audience, you save audience. From the core audience, when you run your first ad, you will have, you run your first ad, ipapakita mo muna sa core audiences mo, sa target audience mo na ginawa. And then from your first ad, yung mga nag-engage doon, after the results of your first ad, you can now create custom audience. You can upload a contact list, or the easiest way is to actually create them from Ads Manager. Audiences who have engaged with your ad. And then, from the custom audience, when you want to go back again to exploring another cold market, kunwari, gusto nyo i-expand na ulit, gusto kong, mukhang nasulit ko na tong custom audiences na to, gusto kong maka-reach ulit or maka-engganyo ulit na iba namang target market na hindi ko pa na interesado sa product ko. Yun na yung mga look-alike audience. Yung look-alike audience, copy sila ng custom audience at core audience. Pero dito, this is an intelligent audience because galing yung audience na to, these audiences are based from the data of your initial audiences, of your initial advertisements. Alright? Okay. So, how do we create, just to show you an idea of a basic advertising strategy. So, this is intermediate na level. Pumapasok na dito yung strategy level ng pag-advertising. When it comes to Facebook audiences, there is a strategy in using it. When you are looking at this in this diagram, pinapakita dito na at this level, ito yung audience na pwede mong ma-reach, the cold market, the cold audience, and then the warm audience, and then the hot audience. Hot audience, people who are already ready to buy. Okay? So, ang tawag dito sa portion na to, this is what we call funneling. So I think your mentors have already you are already familiar with this one when you have already taken the SBP or the SBO of our previous seminars for our business. So funneling, it's the same thing that we do from offline, but in this case, online na to. May funneling kasi offline, di ba? Pipili ka ng mga leads mo, ng mga contacts, and then yung leads mo, sino yung mga prospects mo, etc. It's just the same thing with the online. With the online, with Facebook, we just call it differently. Funneling pa rin yung tawag doon. Pina-funnel mo kung sino sa mga prospects mo yung talagang hot na hot, ready to buy. Cold to warm to hot audience. So, sa advertising, ang mga cold audience, ito yung mga look-alike audience na ginawa mo, or ito yung mga core audience, your saved audience na initial mong ginawa from your initial whether research or sa tingin mo ito yung gusto mong i-reach na target, ito yung mga nare-reach mo sa level na to na mga cold audience. And then sa warm audience, ang gagamitin mo na dyan yung mga custom audience. So galing sila dito sa look-alike audience para kang nagmimina. Para kang nagmimina ng ginto sa isang bundok. It's basically mining your audience. So you are basically, just like with mining, pinipili mo muna yung mga malalaking bato. Siyempre, pipiliin mo yun yung mga malalaking bato, ito yung mga to. Pero hindi lahat ng bato may lamang ginto. Pero sa mga batong yun, pipinuhin mo yun, asan dun yung mga ginto? Asan yun yung pwede pang, asan dun yung mga, you're basically selecting from a bigger pool of audience, from a bigger size of the market. Sino dito yung mga totoo kong lead? Who are the warm lead? Who are now interested? At sino dito talaga yung mga ginto, hot, who can transform, who will buy the product, or who could be my business partner? This is what we call funneling. So one technique is that, step 1, you can create a lead magnet ad. Lead magnet, basically, pang magnet mo to sa ginto. Pwede mo gumawa dito ng example, isang existing post mo, gagawin mong ad. So, para pang magnet mo, gumawa ka muna ng look-alike audience, gumawa ka muna ng saved audience or core audience based from your initial research, based from your investigation. Oh, these are my potential prospects. This is the profile of my initial lead audience. This is the profile. They are, like for example, they are 25 to 35 years old who are married, who live in, for example, in Metro Manila, specifically in Marikina City. And then, they are interested in, for example, they are interested in weight loss. They are interested in Korean beauty products. Okay? So that's creating a lead is basically experimenting first with a saved or a core audience or a look-alike audience. Step 2, you capture the cold market audience. These are the warm audience. You capture them based from step 1. Gagawa ka ng custom audience based from step 1. So, this is where you create a new custom audience. And then from the step 3, from those custom audience, who are the hot audiences ready to buy? Capture all engaged audience and remarket for nurturing from cold to hot audience. Nurturing, meaning aalagaan mo tong mga warm audience mo na to kasi sila yung magiging hot market mo. Sila yung magiging ready to buy na in a few more ads, after a few more ads. So that's basically advertising. How do you do it? Let's go back to your ad. So from this campaign level to ad set to ad, you will do it here sa ad set level. Kunwari, pili muna ako ng ad. So from my page, I'll use an existing post. So this campaign I chose for engagement. So I would want to have more likes, more comments, more share on a post. And then I created a call to action, send message. I chose this ad as an example only. So I'm sure you already have your pages and you have your posts wherein you will pipili na lang kayo doon ng mga posts what you would use for your target audience. So, ang first step daw is, if we want to target a new audience, is we want to create a core or saved audience, especially for the beginners. This is where you do it at the ad set level, audience. Create new audience. This is where you create a core audience. So, for example, people living in this location. As much as possible, choose people living in this location because we don't want to target people who are just visiting in this location. Why? You might be targeting, pwedeng matarget yung mga turista lang, hindi nakatira doon. Okay? Or potentially baka ma-target yung mga customers. I mean mga foreigners, hindi mga customers. So, it's important to actually know na, okay, mga nakatira dito, kung gusto nyo mag-target sa specific mga lugar, example sa Cebu, kailangan nakatira sa Cebu. Baka bumikita lang sila sa Cebu, taga Maynila. So, take also into consideration kung living in this location or anong nga ba, saan sila nakatira. Okay? So, for example, for this page, I would want to target those living in Metro Manila, living in this location. So, I will just put in Metro Manila. So what I'm doing right now is basically creating a core audience, an initial audience based on who I want to target. Okay? Okay, there. Then I would also then from this portion, let's say I want to target those who are slightly older, 25 to 50 years old, for example. So right now, I'm just thinking of who I nag-a-assume pa lang ako. Nag-a-assume pa lang ako kung sino yung mga potential audience na gusto kong i-market. So dito, at this portion, the audience size, Facebook is telling me, you have 6.7 million people that you could reach who are 25 to 50 years old within this area, within Metro Manila. Tapos from here, I could add detailed targeting. So, for my page, siguro, I could use those who are interested in digital marketing. Yeah. Based from their interest. Okay? Or, you could also make your life easy by looking also into this one. Pwede nyo yung tignan, ano yung mga suggestion ni Facebook? Pwede parang social media marketing, online advertising, pwede rin entrepreneurship. Okay, so remember, this is just for my page. So for our pages, um, let's say for example, for your Santi Barley business, just to give you an example, maybe you would want to market your products to entrepreneurs. You would want to build your team. So just put in entrepreneurship. Yun, entrepreneurship. Small business. Yan, pwedeng ganyan. So just an example. Okay? Later, I will show more targeting techniques for our business. So entrepreneurship, small business, etc. Just to give you an idea. Show more options. This one, tong detailed targeting expansion, I highly discourage this one. Turn this off yet. We don't need this yet. This is a new feature from Facebook, and this needs more testing with detailed targeting expansion. So this is only used when you have less than 50,000 potential reach. This is where you use the detailed targeting expansion for very narrow audiences. Pero kung more than 100,000 naman yung lumalabas dito, nasa broad range, nasa green, wag niyong gamitin. Do not put it here, okay? Do not use this one. So, this is the core audience that we want to reach. So, from core audience, we will just save this audience. And then, let's put in a name na small business entrepreneur audience. Now, we now have a core audience, which is 2.5 million people. This is our first audience for this ad. So, What we want to do is, just like mining, just like what I said earlier, we want to get the warm audiences. Out of the 2.5 million people, who are those people? Who are those people who are the warm audience? Sino dun yung ginto? Who who are the gold among the rocks? Who are the gold among the stones? So, dito na natin ginagawa yung funneling strategy. So from here, we create an initial ad to encourage them. So I created an ad here for my page. Messenger setup. For the messenger setup pala, with this advertising, you could create new dito. You could use the suggested messenger setup of Facebook. So basically like an immediate FAQ or para siyang chatbot na autoresponder. Or kung tapos you could just save it para meron na kayong existing. So for this one, I think this is okay. High or delivery options, etc. Basic lang. Tapos, i-confirm ko na magra-run na tong ad na to. Okay. So, for example, this ad has already run. For example, I've set this ad to run for 7 days. Nakababad na siya for 7 days. Nakarun na siya for 7 days. Gusto natin, nag-engage na yung mga tao, may mga tao na nag-engage, may mga taong nag-like, nag-comment, nag-share. From there, we would like to get the warm audience. So, sino sa kanila yung mga ginto? Sino sa kanila yung potential nating customers? So, yung mga potential nating customers, out of the 2.5 million people kanina, sila yung mga warm audience. Gusto natin na sila yung i-retarget natin ng product natin or ng ating negosyo, whatever your business is. So for Sante Barley, for the products, for those who are retailing, yung mga nagbebenta ng product, you would want to retarget those who have engaged your post. Yun naman sa naman nagbi-build ng product, same thing. Yung mga nag-engage or nag-show ng interest sa gustong maging business partner. It's just the same thing. So, capture the cold market audience. How do you capture? I'd like to introduce you to this tool here, which is called Audiences. This is where we create the custom audience and the look-alike audience. This tool right here, Audiences. Kung hindi nyo siya makita, if you don't see it, all you have to do is just scroll down. Audiences is at the advertise portion of the tools. This is a Facebook tool which is very powerful, Audiences. So, from here, Audiences, right-click lang, tapos open link in new tab. Wag natin tong i-turn off muna. So, from the Audiences, this is how it will look like. Dito, from the Audiences, the button that you will see here is Create Audience. So, since I have already existing custom audiences and look-alike audiences, it will look like this. But for the first-timers, this is new to, for those who are still new to advertising, this is new to you. This will be blank for the meantime. Except if meron na kayong nakasave na audience, kanina sinave natin yung audience na to, di ba? Lalabas na din siya dito. Your saved audiences will show here. So here, asan na siya? Let me just refresh the page. The saved audience we created earlier, it will show up here based from the first ad. Okay? Okay, so now that we have the audiences, so dito, lalabas na yung ito. Ito na yung saved audience natin. So, small business entrepreneur score audience. This was our saved audience from earlier. 2.7 million. It will show you here na ready. Ready na yung data. Facebook has already gathered the data, etc. Now, from this portion, when you have run the ad, you would want to get people who have engaged from this audience. People who have engaged from this audience, you will create a custom audience. So, again, remember po, kailangan bago kayo gumawa ng custom audience, na-test nyo po muna itong inyong core audience or your saved audience. Before you create a custom audience, you have to use first your core audiences, test it with an ad for more than 7 days. Minimum of 7 days. Okay? In order for you to know kung effective ba talaga yung ginawa nyong core audience or hindi, yung ginawa nyong save audience. So from here, let's create an audience. This is where you do it. Custom audience. Okay. So from the custom audience, it will show create a custom audience. You have different sources that you could choose from. Website, app activity, etc. What we want to do is that we create a custom audience from a Facebook page, from our Facebook page. Ito yung pipiliin natin. So from that Facebook page, just choose in the page na ginamitan nyo nung saved audience na yon kung saan kayo nag-add. So, my page, which is Eugene Sugian, and then everyone who engage with your page. Pwede rin who engage with any post or ad, call to action button, etc. or send you a message, yung mga nag-message sa inyo or people who save your post or any post. Most of the time, when creating a custom audience, we would want to use this one. People who engage with any post or ad. Yung ad na ginamit natin. Yung pang-test ng ating core or saved audience. Gusto nating matest yung mga nag-engage lang doon. Sila yung warm audience. They are the people who showed interest. Change this to, as I said earlier, minimum of 7 days to get data. So backtrack nyo kung kunwari, if yesterday it was the end of your 10-day advertising campaign, so you could just backtrack this in the past, for example, 11 days or 10 days. So minimum of 7. I highly suggest minimum of 7 in the past 10 days. And then name your audience. Let's name our audience. So this is the audience we got. Ito yung kinuha natin mula sa ating core audience. From core small business entrepreneur. Audience. So, custom. Yan. So, para mas ma-separate natin, mas makita natin yung gaano ba nga ba ka konti or ilan talaga yung nag-engage lang. Sino yung warm audience natin? Ito na yung mga warm, yung mga pwede pang pinuhin na ginto. Let's try to create this audience with this one. So, create audience. Now, what's happening right now is that Facebook gathered the data. So, from the past 10 days, those who have engaged with the ad, ito na yung custom audience. So, with this one, sabihin niya, next steps, you could create a lookalike audience from them. Pwede nyo nang gawin dito. You could create a lookalike audience from here. Those who have engaged, you would want to retarget people similar to them. So, that's a lookalike audience. Lookalike audiences are cold market audience. Or you could even directly create an ad to advertise na to this audience. Pwede nyo na retarget dito. Okay? Pwede nyo nang gumawa agad ng ad dito, tapos ang i-retarget nyo yung custom audience. So, I'll just click muna on done para makita natin asan na yung ito na yon, custom audience natin. So, Facebook is telling me that from the 2.7 million people who I advertised from the core audience that I made, yung ginawa kong core audience. For example lang to ha, na natapos na yung 10-day advertisement ko. Tapos, ito yung lumabas. Yung mga nag-like, nag-comment, nag-share below 1,000. Sinasabi dito populating yan. Ibig sabihin, baka dumadami pa. Kumukuha pa siya ng data. Kasi, even yung mga hindi nag-like, nag-comment, or nag-share, yung mga nag-click ng video, kunwari, kung video siya, nung tumingin ng video, pero hindi nag-like, kukunin pa rin ni Facebook yung data nila kasi nag-engage yung mga yon. Nag-view kasi sila. Video views. Even yung mga nag-click sa picture, tinignan yung picture, kasali na yon sa custom audience. Kasali na yon sa data. Yung data nila, kinukuha na rin ni Facebook. Kaya siya populating. So, below 1,000, these are now warm audiences. From the warm audiences, yung custom audience natin, pwede na tayong gumawa din na kunwari, for my next ad, in order to expand my business, I want to expand to other target market. Gusto nating mag-prospect, mag-funnel ng mga katulad ng mga audience na to. Dito na tayo gagawa ng custom, ng look-alike audience. So, select your look-alike source. Ito na yung look-alike audience. Gusto natin na galing sila sa custom audience. Create new source, custom audience. Facebook page. Oops. So, dito na tayo gagawa ng mga look-alike audience natin. So, sa look-alike audience, select an existing source or data source. Ang gagawin nyo lang po, naka-blank yan, click nyo lang yung portion na to, dito lalabas yung mga ginawa nyong mga audiences dati. So, nasa other sources yan, yung custom audience. So, hanapin lang natin yung ginawa nating custom audience. Ito na yon, yung custom core small business entrepreneur audience. Ito yung ginawa natin. So again, ang nangyayari, gumagawa na tayo ng bagong look-alike audience. From the warm audiences, look-alike audience. Okay? Wala pa tayo sa portion na to. Mamaya pa yan. Dito muna tayo. Babalik lang tayo sa look-alike para hindi tayo malito. From the custom audience, select audience location. Kunwari, dito na pwede nyo nang mag-expand ng market globally or internationally. Let's say, you are expanding in, for example, Taiwan. Let's see. Yes. Taiwan. What's happening now is that what Facebook will do is that Facebook will create an audience for you to expand of those people who are like, katulad ng mga audience, who are like those audiences who engage with your ad in Taiwan, from Taiwan. I think they might be, based from the data, they might be Filipinos or they might be Taiwanese who will show the same behavior or who would engage most likely with your ad. This is the power of look-alike audience. Look-alike audience is used for market expansion, for cold market expansion. You could use multiple countries. I see that if you're going to use this, kung gagamitin nyo siya for a country, just put in one country. Okay? For the meantime, since we would want to expand first here in the Philippines for the local, just put in Philippines. There. Look-alike audiences, dito lang, per country lang yung pwede mong piliin. So, from Philippines, and then select audience size, always default to 1%. 1% is less than 1 million. Number of look-alike audiences, 1. Always default lang to 1. Kasi pag umabot na siya ng 2%, yung data hindi na siya hindi na siya reliable pag 2%. 1% kasi is really okay. Okay? Also, technique, one tip to you, important technique is that do not create a look-alike audience if the custom audience is less than 100. So earlier, our custom audience, this one, custom for small business audience, was below 1,000. Below 1,000, more or less, wala pa kasi tayong exact data kanina, pero Facebook will show here the exact number after, I think after 1 day, after it has already gathered all the data. When it shows that your custom audience, the size of the custom audience, those who have engaged from your ad is less than 100, do not create a look-alike audience. Why? Because that data is not reliable. Masyadong maliit yung pwedeng pagkunan ng data ni Facebook na 100 na katao lang na nag-engage. Aim for more than 1,000, more than 2,000 na custom audience. Pag yung custom audience, mga nag-engage sa ad mo, medyo malaki-laki, more than 1,000, magandang gawan yan ng look-alike audience. Okay? So this is an important technique on your future, para sa future ads mo, pag gagawa ka ng future advertisement, mas yung nakatarget mong market using Facebook data, mas intelligent na ang ginagawa mo, mas matalino ka na ngayon sa pagsa-strategize. Kasi, malamang sa malamang, ang matatarget mo, yung mga taong may interest talaga. Katulad ng mga taong nag-show ng interest dun sa una mong ad. Okay? So, Philippines, and then set to 1%, create audience. There we go. This is now the look-alike audience. So, below 1,000 din siya, magpa-populate din siya. So, balikan lang natin, no? Anong nangyari? This was our core audience, our saved audience, which is 2.7 million people. Because, basically, at this level, we are targeting, nag-advertise tayo sa isang bundok, sa malaking bundok muna, on a mountain. Now, as I said earlier, we are trying to mine where the gold is. Where are the potential market? Where are the real prospect, the real leads? That's why we create a custom audience from this one. Galing sila sa mga nag-show ng interest, nag-engage dito sa initial natin na core audience, custom audience. Now, for our next ad, diba, katulad ng pagmimina, when you are mining, you focus first on this spot, and then when you would want to expand, or you would want to discover other places to find gold, you transfer to another spot. This is the look-alike audience. Look-alike audience, people who are similar to your custom audience. So dito ka gagawa ng next na ad mo na warm market audience na hindi ka na nanghuhula ngayon na cold audience. Alright? So mas magiging effective yung ad mo kasi more or less yung nakukuhang data ni Facebook sa mga taong to ay mga may interest na katulad ng behavior ng initial custom audience mo. This is the funneling technique of advertising. You are capturing cold market audience and then capturing all engaged audience and remarket for nurturing from cold to hot. How do we get the hot audiences? You can create a custom audience from a custom audience. A custom of a custom. If you watch the movie Inception, so, para siyang Inception. If you watch the movie Inception by Leonardo DiCaprio, it's just, para ka nag-i-Inception, kung gumagawa ka ng custom of a custom, paano nangyayari yon? Very easy. When you create a custom of a custom, you just create custom audience, tapos Facebook page, and then Okay, paano ka gagawa ng custom of a custom audience? So, custom of a custom audience, same thing. It's very easy to do. One is that if you want to nurture a market, what you do is that gagawa ka na ng ad ngayon sa custom audience mo lang, nag-retarget ka, specifically for them, maybe offer them the membership package, or free delivery, etc. Sa kanila, sa warm audiences mo, tapos yung result sa ad na yon, kung ilan sa mga custom audiences mo yung nag-engage or bumili, pwede mong ulitin ngayon gumawa ng custom audience. Custom audience na galing dun sa custom audience. Okay? Again, gumawa ka ng ad, nag-market ka dun sa custom audience na yon, tapos after 7 days, nakakuha ka ng mga inquiries, nakakuha ka ng mga taong bumili, gagawa ka na ngayon ng custom audience from them. Ito yung mga hot leads. Na, okay, ito talaga yung mga totoong interesado. Kunwari, out of the 1,000 audiences, 100 doon bumili, 200 doon bumili, 300, basta more than 100. Pwede mo nang i-market ulit people who sent a message to your page. Yung mga nag-send ng message pero hindi pa bumili, sabihin nila, ay next time na lang po pag may pera na. Pwede mong i-target yon kahit less than 100 na yan. Yung rule kanina sa look-alike audience, 100 audiences at least bago gumawa ng look-alike. Sa look-alike audiences lang yon. Sa custom audience, walang ganon. Ano lang, sa custom audience, kahit dalawa nga lang yan eh. Kahit dalawang tao, pwede. So, people who sent a message, kunwari, dun sa within 10 days, ang nag-send sa'yo ng message, 10. Pwedeng 10 lang ang i-marketan nyo ng next nyong ad na to. That is possible with the custom audience. Kunwari, sent messages but did not buy. Ito na yung custom of a custom audience. Okay? So, done. So, meron na akong custom audience. So, audience na to, galing dito sa custom audience. This is